Welcome back to the Bi-Carrier Kitchen. All this week we are celebrating school chefs from across Connecticut in a series we're launching. It is called A+ Eats. Jamie Gribb from East Hartford with us today. The idea behind all this, Jamie, is that you folks are the experts sharing an easy recipe that parents can then replicate at home. And chefs all week are assuring us the kids are eating it, and I have no doubt this morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
You and I spoke on the phone not long ago, and you said breakfast requests, I think, jumped from 100 a day to like 700 a day because of one item. What is the story behind this parfait?
Yeah, so this year we're looking at like what our most popular food items are and which ones, are not super popular. So we kind of realized that Wednesday morning breakfast wasn't really super popular with our kids. And what was happening is they were kind of trying to sneak to one of our other high schools to try and get the yogurt over there, and that just tells me that they want yogurt. So we gave it a try, and we put a yogurt parfait for breakfast, and our participation increased 600%.
That is so incredible to hear. Talk about the efforts that you're taking as we kind of just layer some of these items. It looks pretty simple. You're multiplying this a few hundredfold. What's the idea as I'm constructing it here?
Okay, so the recipe for this particular parfait is 1 cup of low-fat yogurt, a ½ cup of fresh fruit, or any kind of fruit really, and a ¼ cup of a whole grain granola, or it could be just a whole grain cereal, whole grain rich. And the cool thing about this is that it's very visual, right? It's very colorful, and this is something, of course you can make at home, but this is also something that your kids can make at home. This is something that they can, help out by packing their own lunch, and they can make their own just like you're doing right now.
Which I think is so wonderful, because when I cook with my nieces and nephews, I find when they get involved in the process, they're more inclined to eat it. You've been watching the series all week long. I wonder what your takeaway is for parents at home who are seeing all of these different chefs come in and share what they're making in their own schools.
Yeah, it's the theme this week is maybe things that you didn't quite think that kids would like all that much, but also, oftentimes like putting in familiar ingredients like, yogurt and fruit, kids kind of get exposed to pretty early. But like even like corn and black bean salsa, like the corn is something that they're accustomed to. Apples are something they're accustomed to. And they kind of accidentally start to eat the things that they don't like, and then kind of figure out that, hey, they actually do kind of like it. So really it's just kind of repeated exposure and patience, and you'd be surprised at the results sometimes.
And I've been having chefs speak to our skeptics all week long, because you hear from people like, it's nutritious, they're not eating it. Kids are eating this, you're experimenting, what's happening?
Yeah, we are absolutely going to be serving this at lunchtime now as an everyday offering because they like it so much. But when we think of a complete nutritious meal, we think meat, potato, veg, the things that we've always come to realize, is a full, complete meal. This is absolutely a full, complete meal in and of itself, though it may look a little different than we're accustomed to, right? We have our yogurt, that is our protein, we have our fresh fruit, that is our roughage, and we have our whole grains in the granola. It is an all-complete meal, and it's super easy and something that the kids can really get into.
All right, be honest with me. What are the kids not eating? What have you had to get rid of?
It was a chorizo and egg wrap.
Just a little too much going on?
They just weren't feeling it. And you know what? Oftentimes it's like you're hot. You don't want to eat hot food all the time, So, this is a nice, cool, refreshing, very summery, very seasonal. We're using fresh berries. If berries are not in season or the fruit is not in season, we do have other ways to actually get the fruit into the parfait and kind of change it up. Like obviously bananas and pineapples are not local to Connecticut outside the grocery store, right? Yeah. But you can also look into things like frozen fruit. Frozen fruit much like this, that is the strawberry here, that will give you a little bit more of, there's some juice that comes out as it thaws, and also we have canned or bottled fruits that are a wonderful substitute as well.
Wonderful. Listen, I appreciate you being here. Do I pass in your culinary kitchen, do you think?
Oh, absolutely.